being present, being grateful, being kind, right? Being generous and considerate. All of those things have nothing to do with gifts. All of those things have nothing to do with buying stuff for them, right? Uh, Being friendly, right? Generous, considerate. Those don't cost money. What do they cost? They cost time. And what does that mean? Time is presence, your presence in their life. That's what will be long lasting, right? You can't use money to buy that. You can't use a new iPhone to buy that. You can't use a new Apple Watch, iPad to buy that. You have to spend time and be friendly, generous, and considerate. That's how you can help your family members uh, and your employees. If you have employees, your team members, your friends, that's how you can help, you know, give them long lasting happiness is be present. Because, I'm thinking if I'm a grandparent and I want to, see all my grandkids, all happy, right? What do you think they will remember the most when they grow up? It's not the gift that you got them for Christmas. It's the ability when they were a kid, Thanksgiving, Christmas, y'all were celebrating together as a family, going out walking, playing ball. Were you able to attend that? They will remember that. They won't remember you sitting in the house because you got a migraine, you got neuropathy, you're so fatigued you can barely walk. They won't remember they won't remember you sitting in the house watching them outside doing that stuff. That won't be a point of happiness. That will be a point of sadness. So the best gift you can give your family is the gift of presence, being able to do things with them, right? And that requires health. And that's why, health is wealth. Health is more valuable than the money you're ever going to make. Health is more valuable than the stuff you're going to buy and own. So let's talk about how do we be present, right? That's like we're getting some questions, so I'm going to answer the questions so that you can be present. But I want you to be focused. It's not about getting rid of your migraine so you can go shopping, right? And buy stuff that's only going to provide temporary happiness. I'm talking about let's get rid of your migraine so that you can be present with your family. You can listen, be considerate of your family, be with them if you want to go on trips, vacation, be able to walk with them, talk, enjoy, right? So that's what I want to help you do is be able to be present, present whenever you want, not present not present when your migraine allows you to do that, right? I think, well, that's the talk about migraines. Sharon woke up with a killer headache today, right? So there are different parts, there's different things you can do for a headache. I actually did a post, right? A killer headache. I just did a post about using your blow dryer. Um, don't mind the noise. I'm just pouring myself some tea in the morning. That's what I do. That's what the AcuSensei does. So how do you get rid of your headache? Well, tea actually can. These are temporary fix. They're not going to be permanent fixes, right? Because the permanent fix is a bigger problem. You have to solve a bigger problem. So temporary fix. If you have a headache, you could try some tea, right? Got some tea. Or you can actually try some coffee. Why is that? For some people, caffeine is a vasodilator. Vasodilator means it opens up your blood vessels. When you have a headache, when you have any type of pain, doesn't matter if it's headache or not, you have a lot of inflammation, right? Majority of headaches are caused from your neck. That's why in one of my videos, if you didn't watch it, it already has 3 million views on it. You get a blow dryer, you can blow dry the back of your neck, right? Because heat increases blood circulation and decreases inflammation. Now, for those of y'all who have migraines, I know some of y'all were posting and say, "Oh, I have a migraine. I can't take the sound of the headache of the blow dryer." Right? Yeah, that's absolutely true. Um, some of y'all criticize me for not having experienced a migraine. Just because I haven't experienced a migraine doesn't mean I don't know how to treat it. Uh, if heat makes it worse, then you can put an ice, like an ice. ice pack, put it on the back of your neck, on the back of your neck. Majority of headaches are caused by neck problems, right? Are there other causes of headaches? Absolutely. But I'm only going to address today the main cause, I mean, the common cause, which is the back of the neck. So you can either apply heat or you can actually apply cold. If you want heat, you can do a blow dryer, you can put a heat pack. There's many ways to apply heat, right? Uh, and you don't want to just stick with the neck. You want to relax the shoulders, the shoulder muscles, right? Surprisingly, Thanksgiving holidays, we're supposed to be relaxing, right? But most majority of people get more stressed during holidays, right? That also should tell you something. So because of that stress, it causes your shoulders to tighten up, and that can pinch on nerves that radiates over your head. It radiates like this over your head, right? So heat and cold, apply that. And if you can apply it right now, and just let me know in 5 minutes if it's better or not, Sharon. Okay. Olga asks, relief for twisted neck. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Olga. So for twisted neck, yeah, I'm assuming you woke up with like a crick in your neck, right? So actually, it's the same thing with the headache, right? Because that twisted neck can actually eventually almost give you a headache. So apply for if you have a twisted neck, apply heat, right? So cold may temporarily help, but it's very short term. Heat, we want to relax the muscles, decrease the inflammation, and and slowly do neck circles, right? Just do small circular. So while you're blow drying, you blow dry it first, and then slowly go around and do your little circles until you get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And you should see your neck crick, your twisted neck start to improve, right? So let me actually, Olga, if you can do that right now, and let me know after you're done and see if the neck is getting uh, better. If it's not, hey, that's the benefit. Thank you. One of the benefit for being on at 8 a.m. in the morning here in Central Standard Time is we can. I'll tell you if I'll give you a recommendation. You go do it right now, and if it doesn't work, I'll give you another recommendation. Okay, so that's the benefit. I want to reward the people who showed up with me today. So next. What advice for legs and feet neuropathy? Well, number one, we're not going to fix it today because neuropathy is something our clinic, my teams, and I specifically specialize in. We specialize in neurology, right? We're the top acupuncture neurologists in the nation, and so for legs and feet neuropathy, you have to. This is a long. I won't be able to spend this whole time on addressing neuropathy, but I can tell you some tidbits of where to start looking. You want to start looking in your spine, right? It is some people is diabetes, your blood sugar. So if it's your blood sugar, you want to fix that. If it's if you're getting chemotherapy, like a lot of people have cancer these days, and they're getting the chemotherapy, which kills their body. It mostly kills, and it also kills their nerves, so that's causing neuropathy. And then there is so your spine. You can have compression of the nerve that's going down your legs, and that's causing neuropathy as well. There's a solution for all of those, right? Some of those can be reversed and some of those cannot. But one thing you want to do is you can also apply heat, because a lot of times when the nerves get pinched in your spine, that affects the blood circulation down your legs. And majority, I would say 99% of patients, of people who have neuropathy, their legs show up cold and their feet are freezing cold. We actually do something called thermography scan in our clinic at Achieve Integrative Health here in Austin, Texas. And what we do is we scan them, and it shows, a picture of the blood circulation throughout the body. And 99% of the time, people with neuropathy, their feet show up pitch black, right? Green is normal. Red, it means heat, hot, inflammation. But purple and black means no circulation. So that's why no circulation. If you don't have circulation, guess what? Your nerves are not going to heal. because every single cell in your body heals through blood circulation. Why do you think, like for Sharon and Olga, who've got headaches and neck, why am I telling them to apply heat? Here's a rule I want you to write down. Okay, here's a standard rule I want everybody watching to write this down. Okay, you got some pen and paper? Let me take a sip and y'all can grab that. Here's the rule I want you to write down. Warmth invigorates. Cold stagnates. Warmth invigorates. Cold stagnates. Okay? Write that down. And every time you've got some problems, health concerns, you should post this like on your refrigerator. Warmth invigorates, cold stagnates. What does that mean? Warmth improves blood circulation. You think about the tire pressure, right? Tire pressure. Does your tire, expand? When does your tire pressure expand and contract? Like what part of the year, right? Think about that. So when it's hot in the summer or when it's hot, your tire tends to expand, right? Because warmth, the heat makes the air within your tires move faster. Okay. Now, when it gets cold, like right now, it's starting to get winter here in the Texas. Cold constricts, right? So have you ever noticed when the temperature drops, like one day, for those of y'all who use Fahrenheit, one day it's 70 degrees and the next day it's 30 degrees, and you go and start your car and the lights come out and it says, oh, your tire pressure is low, right? What happened? Because cold constricts, it slows down everything. So the tire pressure also decreases. So just imagine that in your body. So warmth invigorates, cold stagnates. So why do you think I'm drinking warm tea in the morning, right? Oh, it's good tea. Warmth. So one thing you should do in the morning, this is something that I do every day. If you don't like tea, it's okay. Drink a cup of 8 ounce of warm water. You can add lemon to it or whatever, right? But the key is warm water because warmth invigorates. When you wake up in the morning, don't you want your body to start working, your blood circulation start working? Bringing in warm things in the morning helps your body start circulating better, right? That's why it's actually not good for your health when you start off the morning eating cold stuff. Like so, a lot of people do like those smoothies, right? Cold smoothies, right? They put ice and all that stuff. That's one of the worst things you can do, right? That's one of the worst things you can do in the morning. Do not do that. Warmth invigorates, cold stagnates. Okay. And so cold stuff, right? That's why neck pain, joint pain. I'm telling you, use the blow dryer, right? Because it increases the blood circulation. You need blood circulation. Why? Because every nutrition is in your blood. In order for your headache to get better, you need more nutrition to the cells, to the area that is causing the neck pain, right? For your neuropathy, the nerves are not, if they're not getting enough blood circulation, they're not going to heal. Guess what? Your neuropathy is going to get worse. There's no medication that can help you reverse your neuropathy, right? This is why acupuncture and Chinese medicine is so effective, because acupuncture can directly move blood circulation to those nerves in your feet. Now, you can temporarily, by putting in a hot foot soak, right? And that will temporarily bring warmth and blood circulation to your feet that are freezing cold, but that's not permanent, right? Because once you remove it from the hot water, guess what? Your feet get cold again. Why does that happen? Because your brain has been trained to quarantine your legs all the way down. Quarantine means stop blood circulation from getting to your legs. And it's the same thing with those of y'all who have chronic migraines, chronic headaches, chronic neck pain, right? Because taking a pill, you're not fixing the problem. You're not telling your brain to say, hey, move more blood to my neck and fix it. Actually, what medication is doing and injections are doing is saying, hey, the brain, it's like the brain in your neck. Let's say for those of you who have chronic neck pain, right? The reason why it doesn't get better is because the communication between your brain and your neck is severed. There is no good communication. It is all about communication, guys. Think about it. Those of y'all who are married, if you and your spouse don't communicate every day, does your relationship get better or worse? If you and your kids, if you don't communicate every single day, does your relationship get better or worse? It's the same with your head and your neck, head and neck, right? If your brain does not communicate with your neck, does that relationship get better or worse? It gets worse, right? And basically, what does medication and injections do? They make that communication worse. So that's why this is what you'll experience. Over time, you may have started off with a Tylenol, ibuprofen over the counter, and it worked. Excedrin migraine, it worked. And then over years, guess what? Instead of popping one pill, now you're popping two pills. And then after a few more months, instead of popping two pills, now you're popping five pills. And then now the over-the-counter medication doesn't even work. Then what do? You go to your family doctor. Your family doctor, oh man, I need some prescription strength Tylenol. Okay, you get that. It works for a few months. And then eventually it stops working, right? Why? Because those things are not fixing the problem. They're not fixing the communication between your brain and your neck. They're actually distorting the communication. They're tricking the brain to say, oh no, there's no problem in the neck. There's no problem in the neck, brain. Keep functioning as is, right? Keep go playing sports, right? Keep playing sports and not worry about the neck. The neck's fine, right? That's what medication does. It distorts the communication between your brain and your neck. So how do you fix it? I'm not talking about relief. I'm talking about fixing problems. You got to restore communication, right? Okay, so another question. Marilyn said, bad neck, degeneration, and pinched nerves. Yeah. So if you have a bad neck, right, you have what Marilyn is talking about is disc degeneration. It's called DDD, degenerative disc disease. So those discs, unfortunately, they're not going to be reversed, right? And yes, if they're degenerated, so a disc is like this. I like to call your disc in between your spine. They are like jelly donuts, right? You got donuts and then you got jelly inside, right? So imagine your disc are like jelly donuts, and your spine just sits on. You got all these levels of jelly donuts. Did you know your body was made of jelly donuts? Okay, so they're like jelly donuts. Now the problem is when you squish those donuts, right? At first, there's some elasticity, which means they'll bounce back up and it's really flexible, right? It's flexible. But when you squeeze those donuts too often, eventually that jelly starts to spew out. And when that jelly starts spewing out, those donuts get flat. And there's nothing you can do. You can't inject more jelly into the donut, right? And that's what happens to your disc. So what's the next best thing? The next best thing is your discs are going to degenerate. It's gone, right? I'm sorry to tell you, it's gone. And the next best thing you want is for your spine to be able to fuse, to join together by itself, right, and fuse together. And then that pain will start to go away, or it'll get better. However, if your spine is so loosey-goosey, right, like it's so unstable, then it can move this way. Like your spine should be like this, aligned, right? But if it starts going like this, that's where it's pinching. It's pinching on that nerve, which is giving you that pain, right? No medication. So the problem is the spine is pinching the pain and the nerve, right? So is medication going to solve this? Is it going to put the spine back in place? No, it's not. Is an injection going to put the spine back in place? No, it's not. Remember, the root cause is the spine is pushing on the nerve, is cauterizing your nerve. So there's a treatment where they burn your nerves, okay? They burn your nerves so you don't feel anything. Think about that. They don't say, see, this is straight talk. This is what you get with me, right? You get straight talk. I'm not going to give you all the politically correct, answers. I'm not going to tell you for CYA, right? this is, well, and here, I'm not telling you this. I do have to give a disclaimer. I'm not a physician, so I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just telling you things that you can find on Google yourself, right? But this is what we've seen after treating thousands of patients. So if your spine is, your pinched nerve is because your spine is unstable like this, does burning your nerves solve the problem? No, burning your nerves allows you to trick your brain and say, oh, there's no problem. I can't feel it. I can't feel it. So there's no problem, right? No, the problem's still there, right? This is why, you need a combination of physical therapy and chiropractic to help you realign the spine, and acupuncture to help decrease the inflammation, right? Surgery has a potential to help you. Surgery, if your spine is like all the way here, it can help you move it back to here, right? So in that situation, surgery could help you and could solve the problem. So when you're looking for, when you're struggling with health concerns, you got to ask yourself first, are you just looking for relief? Like, I just want temporary relief. I want to trick my brain. Remember, I want to make the communication worse. If you want to do that, medication is a choice, right? And here's the thing, I'm not a hater of medication. There is a time for medication, okay? I'm talking about, what do you want? Do you want to solve the problem, or do you want just a temporary fix, right? Olga says, okay, great. So Olga had neck pain, and I told her to do something, and then she reported back. So thank you, Olga. She said she tried the hair dryer for some relief, but head feels very heavy. Suggestion for that. Okay, thank you, Olga, for trying, for playing along with me. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do, Olga. So if your head feels heavy, it could be, right, a number of things. If you've got allergies, you got a lot of mucus stuck in your brain, right? If you do, actually go get a little tea, or if you like coffee, drink some of that. And the point of doing that is I want to vasodilate, improve blood circulation to your brain, to your head, okay? See if that works, number one. If that is the cause, like allergies, you got mucus gunk all over in your sinuses, that will make your head feel heavy. Another thing is your neck. It still could be from your neck. So even though you relax the muscles, but the neck, it's like you've already irritated the nerve. So the nerve's just, you may have helped it a little, but it's still irritated, right? So what I want you to do, Olga, we're going to do something what I call my QRA, quick restorative acupressure. I call it the Wolverine, right? You know the Wolverine, the movie, he's got like, these things that he's these metal that go bing, it goes up and goes bing, like that, it goes up, right? So get your knuckles, right? Get your knuckles. I'm gonna come a little closer. And what I want you to do is see the top of the knuckles, right? You're gonna draw a line. Let me draw a line like this. Top of the knuckles, you're gonna draw a line, right? So right here, you're gonna push on it. So you're gonna push on it. See in between the joints? If I open my hands like this, okay, you're gonna push on it. All in between all the knuckles, even the side one right here, right? Push on it. Push on it. Find the one that's the most sore and dig in. Like if this one's the most sore, you're gonna dig in for 10 seconds. Like it's gotta hurt. Dig in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Dig in. Do that for one hand, okay? And see if it helps the heaviness in your head. Okay. So do this and report back, Olga. Thank you for playing along. All right. So coming back while Olga is trying that out, how do you like this? This is like one-on-one consultation with the Acu Sensei. How y'all liking this? Right? Are y'all liking this time? I want you to comment. Comment. Do you like this 8 a.m. time better, or do you like the 10 a.m.? Or when do you want me to? What time is better for you? Right? So going back to fixing problems. Again, I love Western medicine. I am not here to tell you don't do Western medicine. There is a time, if you get in an accident and your finger is barely hanging on your hand, do not go seek holistic care, okay? You go to Western medicine, you go to the ER, and you get it sewed back in, right? You get the medications, whatever you need in order for them to do that. You do that, okay? I'm talking about chronic disorders that you've been struggling with for 5 years, 10 years, and you've tried the medication route. Western medicine is not focused on chronic care, okay? It doesn't fix it. Now, again, first start with the first question. Do you want to fix it? If you don't want to fix it, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to fix it, you got to find the root cause and fix the root cause. Okay. Uh, Marilyn, can you explore a little bit about neck surgery? The neuro told me I need a fusion surgery. Yeah, Marilyn. So remember, I was telling you when your jelly donuts are squished, right? So the next thing, sometimes during when the disc degenerates, right, slowly, it causes instability in your neck. And that's what causes the pinching. Because if your spine moves around so much, what happens is it generates inflammation. And inflammation makes this area swollen. And that swelling also can pinch on your nerves, right? So that's what's causing you that severe pain. So that's why neurosurgeons are going to say, hey, let's just remove this jelly donut that's already degenerated, and let's just fuse the two vertebrae, right? So in that situation, that is one of the solutions, right? Because if your neck is, because of your jelly donut, is just so unstable and it's just moving around like crazy, having that neck fusion, yes, that is one possible solution. Because remember, the problem is the jelly donut has degenerated. You can't replace it. I mean, they have these replacement ones, but I don't know how well they work, right? So fusion in this situation would be something that I would recommend our patients, right? But before you get there, have you tried this is where holistic care can help, right? Now, it's not going to reverse everything. What it's going to do is help you transition so that help you get through the disc degenerating and your bones naturally fusing, because eventually they will naturally fuse together, right? You just want to make sure they fuse correctly. So chiropractic, physical therapy, acupuncture, these three, when it comes to musculoskeletal, anything problems with your spine, this three combination is the best, right? I would try these three first before you go into the fusion. And here's the reason why. The surgery, right? Because once you have surgery and you fuse it, there ain't nothing you can do. It's fused. You can't go backwards, right? You can't say, oh, now I want to try chiropractic, acupuncture, and physical therapy. It's too late, right? So here's the thing. Neck fusion, 50% of the patients feel better, 50% of the patients feel worse. That's a fact, right? So that's what I'm saying. Try these three things. Now, the next thing that some of y'all may be thinking is, oh man, if I do all three, it's going to cost a lot of money, right? Because you got to do chiropractic, acupuncture, you got to do physical therapy. It's all going to cost money. And if insurance doesn't cover it, it's going to cost even more money. That's a question you need to ask yourself, right? If you do the neck fusion, just say your insurance covers some of it, right? You still have a huge deductible, right? Couple thousand deductible, you get the neck surgery, right? And it doesn't work. Now you're screwed, right? It's fused. You still got the pain, right? So now you have less to work with. With chiropractic, physical therapy, and acupuncture, we can help you decrease the inflammation and help you transition naturally to a fuse, which may take 10 years. So you could still have a 10 years of good quality life before you actually fuse it. So I'm just telling you, if you choose a red pill, you choose a blue pill. These are the things that are going to happen, right? Now, on the other hand, if some people, they get fused and it's a miracle. It's like pain completely gone, right? So there's always those chances, right? You have to lay out the risk. Right. So you may think that doing the chiropractic, acupuncture, and physical therapy, it costs a lot of money. Right. But let's say you do the fusion, your insurance covers it, and it doesn't work. Now you got to take more medications, which causes lots of side effects. And still you're going to have to come back to chiropractic, acupuncture, physical therapy. You're still going to have to come back to it anyways. But now we can't do as much. Now we're trying to fight side effects of those medications, those powerful medications that you're taking, right? So just think through this when y'all are going through this, okay? Olga, yes, she said it worked. less heavy head when she pressed between the knuckles. How often can I use a hair dryer because pain isn't gone completely away? Yeah, so Olga, thank you, Olga, for playing along. For those of you who didn't notice, you can rewatch this podcast. Olga came in with neck pain. I told her to do blow dryer on her neck, and it helped, but her head's still heavy. So I gave her some QRA, quick restorative acupressure, and her head is less heavy. Uh, so here's the thing, Olga, you got to fix the problem. So you got to have, what's going on in your neck. I would recommend you go get some imaging. See, I love physicians. Go to your family doctor and get some x-rays. And I know x-rays are terrible, yes, but they tell us, I mean, because of the radiation, that's why they're terrible. But they tell us what structurally is going on in your spine so that we know what is the cause. So one thing, I know I'm going overboard. I hope y'all are enjoying this. Comment below if you're enjoying this. One thing I want to emphasize, if there's one thing that you learned from me today, find the root cause. Find the root cause, okay? Because when you find the root cause, then you'll know how much, if you can reverse it or not. So Olga, you need to find the root cause. There's something wrong in your neck, right? There's something wrong in your neck, but we need to know how severe is it. Like Marilyn, she's got degenerative disc disease. If that's the problem, then you got to start working on it like ASAP, right? So, but if your disc is fine, your spine is fine, it's just misaligned or it's just straight, right? Then that will dictate certain treatments. And the last thing I want you to say is before I sign off, don't use insurance to determine your treatments. Insurance companies are not here to help you. They're here to make money. Okay? Even when you go, you're a Western medicine doctor, your physician, they dictate what they can do, what your physician can do, right? So don't use insurance to dictate your health, because if you do, what's going to happen is you're going to end up dependent upon medication and surgery, and you're going to have a poor quality of health. I have seen that with thousands of patients that we've treated. Do not use insurance to dictate your treatment. Insurance, I'm not saying don't have insurance. I'm saying use insurance as a tool, but don't use insurance as the determining factor of what treatments you get, because you will end up the wrong pathway. You will end up being dependent upon medication, medication. We had a patient recently had this situation. Chronic pain all over her body. She came to our clinic, didn't want to pay out of pocket, went her insurance route, and I think this was like a year ago. She literally told us she tried every treatment that her insurance would cover, and now she's worse off. She wasted 1 year when we could have restored a lot of function, because she wanted her insurance to cover it. So she only went to do stuff that insurance covers, which is medication. We already said, you got a neck problem, your spine's out of line, medication ain't going to fix it. Eventually, you're going to, just because you avoid the problem, doesn't mean the problem is not there. Just because you can't feel the problem, doesn't mean the problem's not there. It's going to come back and it's going to hit you harder than before. We get older later, we don't get younger, right? So I want to lead you one last thing about my point of presence. Your family wants your presence, not present, not like a presence, like presence in the gifts and stuff like that. Your family wants you to be there with them, engage with them, understand them, your presence. So the best gift you can give this year for 2020